Welcome back to the Near Post podcast. It's me, Peter. Alongside me is Dermot as always, and we've got two guests on today. We've got Monts from Big Six Bants. Make sure to go check them out. They're always having debates. Gets quite hectic in there. Very good watch. And we've John from Real Ball Talk. A lot of you will know him. You've seen him on a video before. We were just live on their channel, so everyone make sure to go check it out. How you guys doing, Monts?
Oh, better than usual. Just had a few collaborations earlier, so I'm just here arguing with Arsenal fans. That's what I've been doing for this whole week.
Yeah, and of course, John is an Arsenal fan. The other three of us are Liverpool. John, how are you feeling? You under pressure there?
Yeah, man. I was talking about it before. I'm not really under pressure because most people that know me say I'm not really an Arsenal fan anyway, so it's all good.
It gets off easy.
Do you want to jump straight into that game, boys, or we'll get a few warm-ups going? Dermot, what do you think?
No, I say get into it. Like, let's be honest, it's the big game of the weekend, even though it's not a top of the table clash. Even that's sad enough, but been looking forward to it for a while with that international break, especially us as Irish fans. Not going to get into that. Like, obviously England as well. Gareth Southgate is quite boring as well, but let's get straight into it. We'll go with Monts first, actually. Like, just before this game, what have you made of us overall this season? Like, let's be honest, it has been a shambles in the league.
I mean, how long we got? Hour, day, week? Because I'll be going all week if you really want me to tell you how bad the season's been going. But I'll summarize it. Like, I just feel like even though we've probably had the worst luck with injuries out of any champions, any champions of the Premier League, we've had the worst team. However, the worst injuries. But what it is with me is that it's the way we've dealt with it. So, yeah, fair enough. Van Dijk, Gomez, and Matip are out for the rest of the season. But it's the way that we dealt with that, with signings. At the start of the window in January, we was actually top of the league. People forget we was actually, top of the table without Van Dijk, and it was all going kind of well. But for me, I felt like we was hanging by a thread. It wasn't that we was playing really well. Yeah. It was like an accident waiting to happen.
I remember back then, even we lashed out a few spankings though. Remember we bet Palace 7-0, we bet Wolves 4-0, we bet Leicester 4-0. Like
100%. But
bring us back to that.
For me, it's the manner in which we capitulated. So, we decided to get centre backs. And when we did, we'd already dropped out of the top four by the time they'd actually come in. So again, do I blame Klopp or do I blame the board? But then again, Nat Phillips is playing in the form of his life and he's been here ever since. So, Klopp's tactics in playing not trusting centre-backs and playing CDMs at the back, for me, is what really made the car crash happen, in my opinion. That's where the car crash happened for me.
You could see, though, late December, early January, and Klopp was looking for centre-backs. He was already saying, like, let's get a couple of guys in. And I think the guys were kind of leaving it. The board were like, I'd say they were probably telling them, like, can you do without it? Trying to save that bit of money, COVID, whatever. And then I feel like when it came to the end of January, it was very, very rushed. That signing of Ben Davies. Why?
We haven't even seen him. Does he exist?
Who is he? Yeah. Who is he?
The man's a myth. I think that was just a fake player they've just made up and they just bought him. Just to say, oh, look, we've got a centre-back. And then Kabak, it was a nice bit of move, but it was a nice move, but I think it's just too late. And they're putting a lot of pressure. And a lot of the targets you want, even who was it that was available? It was a Socrates at the time, and I thought, like, he'd be decent. He's had a bit of experience in the Premier League. Oh, what? No, but he's had a bit of experience. He's going to be. I'd take him over.
Back
Williams.
then, I would have. Yeah.
Take him over Williams.
I'll take him over Kabak, to be fair.
Yeah, because he's got that experience. I know they're looking at Kabak as a long-term prospect, but to bring him in for 6 months, he's not going to have any effect. Yeah, especially not alongside a centre-back.
We've just gone about it like totally wrong. To think that, who sits in that boardroom and goes, all right, Liverpool are in a chiz right now. They're actually in a chiz. So what we're going to do, we're going to buy a centre-back who's playing for a 20th place Schalke. He's a young prospect and he has some good years on him, even though Liverpool don't have the time to be investing in young centre-backs to build them up for 4 or 5 years. You don't have the time for that. But let's bring him in and let's bring him in anyway. And let's bring in a first division defender on top of that, just to make it a bit more spicy. Like, What was the thought process behind that and the timing that happened? If we'd done it in January, at the start of January, you could go, all right, maybe. But the end of January, it's awful. It's awful, man. I don't know. I'm hurt as a Liverpool fan. I'm hurt personally.
Yeah, just for me, it was just annoying the way the manner they went about it. It felt like they didn't even want to buy anybody, and Klopp was just like, get me someone now. Because you know him, he's a patient guy. I can't imagine him, he's just going to do his job regardless. But I'm telling you, we'll get onto it later, but this board need to take the finger out for summer. And it's as simple as that.
100%.
Anyway, we'll go back to the game. John, what's happened? Arsenal, what do you think? They had a bit of a better January, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, because Odegaard came through, it seemed like he's kind of rescued our season in a way by giving us that creativity from number 10 of a true playmaker. But I mean, we kind of spoke about it before when we were on our channel. It just looks like we're just giving Odegaard games, so he's just getting his stock value up so he can leave in the summer or just stay at Madrid. I mean, realistically, I never really get too attached to loan players anyway because, yeah, you just never know how it's going to go, especially when there's no option to buy or obligation to buy. But he's definitely a big impact for us, that's for sure. But again, there is that caveat as well that we didn't have a number 10 before, so we were so bad that anyone coming in would have looked like they were going to make a difference. So as talented as a player as he is, I'm definitely not one of those that's getting carried away, and that's a very unusual thing for an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. He's probably one Odegaard just completely dropping form now for a few games. Madrid think, this lad's not that good. Blip in the pan, bang, he's getting for 30, 40 million, whatever. Just on the Arsenal fans there, I seen a thing on Twitter, obviously it doesn't represent all Arsenal fans or whatever, but it was like, who would you take not taking price into account? I was like, Martin Odegaard, and Odegaard won the vote easy enough. I think it was something like 70-30. I just thought
who was that?
Over who?
Odegaard,
Grealish.
Jesus Christ! Wow. Well, you see, that's the problem. That's why I don't really associate myself with the club because there's just too many fans that are like that at Arsenal. Unfortunately, that's just ridiculous. That's just not even worth talking about, to be honest.
I gotta say, even when we're on your channel, it's very refreshing to be talking to Arsenal fans who have a slightly actually football opinion. You know what I mean? Not just an Arsenal opinion.
It's rare, bro. Trust me, it's rare. I can't lie.
You go into this game Dermot said on your channel earlier, it's a battle of the social medias. This Liverpool and Arsenal, I'd say, probably are the biggest content creators in regards YouTube videos and whatever. You think about
it as well.
I say Man United are up there as well.
Yeah,
I think Man United
are through. It's got to be between that top three anyway. But you're thinking this is more of just a pride match. Come on,
bragging rights, really. Madrid's the real game for us.
Yeah,
and Slavia, is it Slavia? Who are you guys?
Slavia Prague, yeah.
Slavia Prague is the game for you guys. That's the game you guys should be preparing for. You know what I mean?
Obviously, we won't be looking at it like that. That's the issue. I know what Arsenal fans are like. How many points are we behind you right now? Is it 2?
I think it's 4, yeah.
All right, it's 4, yeah. So this is what's going to happen. If we beat you, I think we've got a game in hand. What Arsenal fans will say is, you know what? Arteta's done well. We're 1 point behind last season's champions. They're going to look at it completely out of context. They're not going to look at
last season's champions that are 7th.
Yeah, champions that are 7th. You know what I'm saying? If Liverpool beat us, come on. Do you guys really care if you beat us?
Yeah.
I mean, just because, again, I don't know if you guys have seen the stuff on my channel. I just don't fancy I just don't fancy the corn. I can't.
That's it. Yeah.
It's good for the views. It probably get the numbers up. But if it was up to me, I'd rather just win, probably rub it in a little bit, and then I can't lie. I'm on to Madrid. The game's in 3 days. I'm on to Madrid. We're not making top 4. I'm realistic. It's not happening. If you look at Chelsea's fixtures, have you seen Chelsea's fixtures? They'll walk those fixtures in the form they're in. Yeah. We need to focus on the Champions League and hopefully, cheese ourselves into the final, and then it's just a free fall. Whoever's better on the day.
Pure madness. Yeah. No, I agree, lad.
I was just thinking on that, Monts, because I feel like Liverpool have kind of I think we're at that stage now. Either if we don't win against Arsenal now, they'll completely dash the league. Or do you think they already have? Like, what type of team do you expect them to play? A full team?
No, Klopp
Coming
will play
into
a full
tomorrow.
team because it's Arsenal at the Emirates. Like you can never Arsenal at the Emirates for anyone is a different game, a difficult
Yeah.
game. It doesn't matter how bad, you know. I think Arsenal. This is the worst Arsenal team we've probably seen in a while in terms of placement in the league, not individual personnel. Because I think the team they've got some good individuals there, but
Yeah.
you know this is a game where you can't be taken lightly. And I think if Arsenal walk over us, that will damage the confidence for Madrid. This needs to be the springboard to go into the Madrid game and go, actually, like we've got the players to do this. It doesn't matter how bad our season's going; anything's still possible. That's the way I feel like we need to approach Arsenal. You can't take these guys lightly.
It's definitely the same approach both teams are having because we're both struggling, both kind of just clinging on to Europe. Because realistically, we both think that's our only chance of European football next year.
Yeah.
Like you look here, James says, "Do you think Liverpool will get Champions League football next season?" In the league, no. The only way we get it is through winning that out. Which
probably not either. Let's be honest.
The craziest. This is what frustrates me though, boys. Because Fabulous, man, obviously Fabinho in it, but man calls him Fabulous in it. But
Class act.
with Fabinho, like the fact that he was playing centre back as long as he did, yeah, and he looks a good centre back. But when he went back into that midfield, Liverpool changed.
Different.
And I think not just me, a lot of Liverpool fans are screaming, just play the centre backs in centre back. They are defenders. They'll get it eventually. We can lose a few games, but they'll get it eventually. But he just kept playing Fabinho game after game in centre back, and we lost anyway. We lost those games anyway. So now that he's back in the midfield, Thiago can finally like stop getting yellow cards in the first minute. Kabak can actually breathe, and Nat Phillips can put his head for a brick wall like he usually does.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm saying?
I'm a big Klopp fan, right? I think all of us are.
100%.
But I agree. During that period, I felt like he just kept forcing because when he kept playing Fabinho centre back, we were all like, "Yeah, look, Fabinho's doing class form. Like he's probably up there. He doesn't really look out of position." But then when he brings him back into the midfield, I was like, "Fuck, what is like? This is next level, man." I've forgotten how good he was in midfield because I was looking at him as a centre back nearly now, and then you're like, why wasn't he playing the centre backs the whole time? It's very hard, you know.
Because he's such a good player in it, like defensively.
Yeah, he's the best CDM in the world, in my opinion, lads. I know that's
I think so. I think
just specialist CDM. I'm not saying like, you know what I mean. Just what he does, the way he hovers up play, and his passing, his range of passing is unreal as well.
He's just a Hoover, man. He's just a Dyson there.
He's got a strike on him as well.
Who competes with him right now for that position?
CDM.
Maybe Casemiro on his
Casemiro,
but maybe like even like again that's like maybe 2 years ago. Casemiro,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Now I can't even say Kante. I think Kante.
He's past his best. He's still good, but he's past. Like I think Rodri from City is slightly overrated. I don't know what you think. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Last season he was whack. He was bad. Yeah. But then again, it took Fabinho a while to get good, to come good for us. Like Klopp
he didn't.
molded him in, sort of thing.
I think just on Rodri, I think he's a bit stiff on the ball. I think when you compare him to it, Fabinho. Well, I suppose if you're going to say someone, but I don't think he's a special. Like Kimmich is different. But is he a CDM really? He's kind of
he's like a pivot. It's a two-man CDM role.
Indeed, he is a class act.
Didi is
well. I think Fabinho's got a bit more class about him.
Fabinho's better than Didi, though.
I think I'd make the argument Partey if Arsenal were to stop playing him in a two-man pivot. I'd argue the point.
I just see Partey as more as a box-to-box type guy.
He's not. Do you know what it is with what Arsenal are doing with Partey? Because Arsenal's midfield is meaty at best. Yeah. Before they've signed Odegaard, Arsenal midfield is meaty. Like I won't hear it from anyone. There's no one in there that dazzles you. In any way.
You're being kind of shocking.
Yeah, exactly. So when Partey's come in, rather than just stick him where they stick Xhaka and then have your two men on the pivot, they're playing two CDMs and they're letting Partey go forward and dictate play because no one in that midfield can do what Partey does. But at Atletico, they had Koke, Saul, them man on the pivot. So Partey didn't even have to do any passing. He didn't have to do the crazy stuff. He would just sit back and do what Fabinho does. Like Arsenal aren't playing him like that. They're making him do too much in midfield. Just take Xhaka out the team and put Partey there and get two man on the pivot. It's not hard.
I don't even
don't
know
know,
if
man.
them Arsenal midfielders know what role they have. I think they're
Bro,
all just kind
literally.
of, it's all just free fall in the middle. Everyone's on free roam, do what you want.
Come on, John. Do
Yeah.
you really think you need Xhaka and Partey? Just stick
Listen,
Partey there, man.
I'm so happy Monts just said that, because he literally just said the exact same thing I said earlier, that we
Yes.
are making Partey be a dictator, and that's not his game.
He's a
Partey's
decent passer, but he's
Yeah.
not.
He's just
a guy-
better than everyone else at it. So it's
Exactly. But it's easy when you got Xhaka there. I always say it. If I was 20 kilos lighter, I reckon I could compete with Xhaka in the middle, because he has got nothing about him.
Xhaka's shocking, boys.
He's too robot. I don't want to go into the Xhaka.
I don't think he's shocking. He's just not good enough to play
I
for
think he
Arsenal.
is.
Yeah, no, bro. Trust me, Monts. If you had to the displeasure of watching him week in and week out,
We say
you would
Swedish. Was he from Switzerland? The Swiss John Joe Shelby.
Don't even disrespect John like that. Don't disrespect John like that, man.
I'm kidding, but you know what I mean, though. Innit? Like, again, with the whole Xhaka thing, I just don't think he's good enough. I'm actually quite a big fan of Ceballos, but I think it's just a bit off and on with him. So he's someone I think could play between the lines.
Yeah, I think Xhaka, unfortunately, he's quite a divisive player in like the Arsenal fan base. I think he got a lot of stick for what he's done a couple of occasions, going out at the fans and everything else, which, that can happen. Maybe not to the level it did, but I think it's just kind of modern day football. Some players just get fanboys that follow them, and for some reason they end up divisive. It feels like every club has at least one or two players that one good game is a message to all the haters, and then one bad game is a message to followers. It's modern football's quite away with that. Yeah, so
but Xhaka does have this thing where he'll have 2-3 good games. He'll look he'll look the part, and then he'll make that inevitable mistake that he always makes. Like it is like consistent mistakes.
You're always waiting for it.
Literally, it's like, when is it going to happen? It was almost like Mustafi. Like, when's the mistake going to happen?
Yeah.
Does he have
Mustafi was even worse.
Does he have good games though, or is he just playing better than he usually does? Like, it's a good game. It's a good game for Xhaka, but it's just average compared to a good midfielder.
Elevated from a 3 to a 6.
Because for Arsenal fans, I think the bar has dropped. I think the bar is quite low for Arsenal fans at the moment.
Yeah, Arsenal fans won't admit it though, but the bar is so low, it's embarrassing. That's why, like, the last time you'd probably see me rocking an Arsenal top was probably like 5 years ago. That's being honest, like, I don't call it rubbish I'm seeing.
I think Liverpool and Arsenal are kind of similar in that way, because the fans are normally so pivotal in the stadium, and they're so vocal. And you said it earlier on the stream, Arteta probably would have been sacked if Arsenal fans were in the stadium. But I feel, because when the fans aren't there, look, we can express as much as we want through social media, but it's the players who are repping us now, and the players only. And I feel like them Liverpool players, we're discontent we're not in the top 4. We're discontent we're not time for the league, but they're not stopped really trying. Sometimes I look at Arsenal guys, and it looks like they don't even want to play. You know what I mean? Said it earlier, Laka, is he playing for the contract? Is he playing for the club? Aubameyang gets a big contract, doesn't pull up for the coach.
We'll get onto Aubameyang.
Yeah.
We need to get onto him. But I personally think Laka's, I think he's playing for a move, personally. I think he knows Arteta doesn't rate him, and he's probably just playing for a move. And he can always go to like Lyon or something, Monaco, and have a good end to his career there. And I think that's just what he's doing now, to make sure probably that his wages don't go too low.
Because he looks all right at the moment. But then again, do you know what's crazy with Lacazette is that I think he's been your best attacker this season, and he hasn't played that much as he would do. I don't think he knows, even if he scores a brace, I don't think if he knows that he's going to start next game. Do you know what I'm saying? He probably has no idea. So what does that do to his confidence? That's why I'm an admirer of Lacazette, because he don't know if he's going to start next game, but he's still scoring goals. So to me, that screams give him what he wants and play him as much as you need to, and getting back to the Lacazette he was when he first come to Arsenal. But now I think it's a bit too late to bring that to fruition.
Yeah, see, a lot of the issue as well is Arsenal are looking at him against Aubameyang. That's straight in. Like, that's the battle. And Aubameyang's been terrible. He has been terrible. On his day, we've said it numerous times here, overall play, he's not fantastic. He's a good finisher. He's not a great dribbler. He's not a good hold-up player, but he gets in behind the lines and he slots. And he's not even doing that anymore.
And he's got a striker's instinct, as in he knows where to be as well.
That's it. He's just a bags man. And when he's not bagging, he doesn't provide anything else to the team.
Literally.
If Lack is not bagging, he still has hold-up play. He can maybe play a nice pass in behind for Saka or whoever. But I think that's the difference between them two players.
Yeah, that is the difference. Yeah, I mean, I've told you guys before, like I've never been Aubameyang's biggest fan because I look at more than just the goal contribution that you make to a game. And I've always said Aubameyang, if he doesn't score, he doesn't do anything, like nothing. So I prefer an all-around player. But the problem is that Lacazette has not been scoring enough goals to merit taking Aubameyang out. And yeah, to be fair, he's added that kind of trademark to his game where he comes in off the left and he does a couple of step overs. He does that, but
he doesn't even do it well, man. I'm not trying to hear that because you can't.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying, like the step. Yeah, so but again, like I don't want to. I don't want to.
I'm not gonna make.
Yeah,
I was gonna make an excuse. I was gonna make an excuse for him, but I'm not even gonna do that.
Nah, he doesn't really deserve it.
No
man.
excuses.
He's the second highest paid player in the league.
Man, if I'm getting paid them wages,
he takes your pens. He takes your pens. That's what stuff that kills me. He takes the pens, man.
And we know what pens can do. Just ask Bruno, innit?
Yeah,
it's true.
Exactly.
But look, it's hard for Arteta. You were saying about Laka, like he doesn't know if he's going to get played, regardless on how he plays. Arteta is like a new coach. You know, he's very fresh. He's going to be under a lot of criticism. But like he drops when you're dropping Lacazette or when you're dropping Aubameyang, sorry, you're not just dropping your goal scorer, you're dropping your highest paid player, your supposedly captain.
Yeah.
Like, but for me, it's a joke. He has to go, but I don't know he's going to have to take a pay cut if he leaves because who else is going to pay them wages?
Not. Let's be honest, please. Aubameyang's not going. There's no one going to go near. What was he? 32, 33 now, I think you were saying, John.
He's 31, I think.
He's turning 32 in June.
There you go. Like, who in their right mind's paying decent enough money for, like, let's be honest, he's past his best he's 32, he's on 375. He's not going to take a pay cut. He'll be demanding 350 at least. So, no, he's gonna see out that contract in Arsenal, no doubt. Is he the next Ozil? Like, he's kind of showing similarities. Or is that a bit harsh?
Because he'll play. He'll play
the away games as well.
he'll play, man. I think Aubameyang, no matter how bad he gets, his capabilities, like he doesn't look like a player he ages. For me, he ages like Vardy, so he can get better with age in terms of his capabilities. Yeah. But they Arsenal are gonna put themselves in a chiz where, like, even if they wanted to get someone in, they've got someone on them wages at that age. They can't get rid of him. They can't reimburse him with someone else. They can't get anything else for that price. Like, if they sell him, they're going to be losing money. It's just, you know what I mean? If they have to pay out that contract, it's a mazzoline for them. So they've just got to get what they can out of him. Hope that he can return to form at some point. Touchwood, not tomorrow, but at some point.
Yeah, you know all this talk he's going to bag to tomorrow, like with that Travis Scott haircut as well. Yeah, I can just see it now.
Yeah.
Go on, Pete.
No, for me, this is a bit of a hot take, but I don't think Aubameyang is ever been worth them wages. To be like, because when he was when he started off in Germany or whatever, and he was playing ball and he was decent, he always had that pace getting behind like Vardy and finish. Maybe the odd header, but he never elevated his game. He never worked on his weaknesses. I think he's always just been a one-trick kind of pony. And with Vardy, you can explain, he came into the league very late or whatever. He didn't have a lot of time to adapt. And I just think he's always been, he's never really garnered enough for me to deserve wages like that, or respect like that. But
do you think he was high of confidence at one point? Or do you think he's pure ability? Because, I'll be honest, like, you can't argue with his numbers, innit? If you actually go and look at his numbers prior to the season, they're very good, bro. They're like, because I've had these arguments with the boys on the channel, innit? And his numbers are very, very good. And if you're a one-trick pony and those are your numbers, it's one hell of a trick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But
That's
I
true,
still
but-
feel when he had that mad season, and now this is his time to come again. Players know what he's going to do. They're stepping that yard back. They know he's going to try and beat them at pace. But now he's never done anything. He's added that little shitey step over. That's it. That's all he's added. See, when Salah, you could have said was a one-trick pony in his first season. And the next season, the numbers didn't really drop that much, though. Because he changed the game.
They were going to drop because he scored. What did he score? Like 35 goals his first season overall.
Well, for 44. Oh, for Arsenal.
Well,
no way. Mo Salah
got 44 in all comps.
Yeah, 44.
There you go. Like, man's going for 4 golden boots in a row, and he's like, just if you're comparing, just to finish on Aubameyang, I think last season Arsenal were desperate. They didn't want to sell him, obviously, with the contract. He had everything working in his favor. Like he had a few offers from some big clubs because he was in such form then. But he scored the winning goals for you in the FA Cup. Like, it was kind of one of them. Aubameyang was going to get whatever money he wanted, that sort of way, or he's going to like. I would say if we asked you back then, like, do you want Aubameyang? I'd say 90% or whatever of Arsenal fans were like, yeah, keep him, that sort of way. So it's one of them. It was kind of Arsenal backing himself again, let the contract run down. They're kind of well known for that. So yeah, he's kind of had no choice. He's kind of had to sign him. Like, there would have been uproar in the fan base if he didn't give him that contract back then.
I like this comment here from Jay, man. Sorry to cut you off again. One-trick pony scores goals wherever he goes. I take the one-trick any day over Origi. And this one was the one I commented on, right? Arteta is a politician. He doesn't play Pepe because he didn't sign him. Plays Willian and Edu and makes him look good.
Just want to say on that, I think that's the uncle from Australia, big Arsenal fan. So man knows the stuff. So he's not. I don't know if he's an Arteta fan. Well, yeah, he had to get a little jibe in at Origi there, but that's fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair enough, and I think Aubameyang has the numbers to always. You can always defend him. That is his one trait, and he's brilliant at it. That's no denying that. I think what I would just say is 2 things. First of all, Arsenal have a history with this. Arsenal fans, they were singing. They made a song for Theo Walcott to sign a new contract. He did. And then a few months later, they're crying about it. Same thing then happened. Even last year, some Arsenal fans will now deny it, but I remember seeing Arsenal fans saying after Mustafi played 3 good games, we should consider giving him a new deal. I've seen Arsenal fans do this. They always get desperate.
Why did you even give David Luiz a new extension? Why did he get an extension?
And Rob Holding.
But bro,
you have Pablo Murray. You man are bonkers.
But even Pablo Murray, bro, why did we sign him permanently?
But I think he actually looks all right. It's just his fitness. That's the issue.
He does.
Like, yeah,
but he played 1 game for us last year. We signed him for 12 million.
Yeah.
He's played a good semi-final, good final, New Year 1 year contract. So Aubameyang just played his contract. All did the same thing. And the last point that I want to say on Aubameyang that no one can ever really respond to. In the last 20 years of the Premier League, apart from Vardy, which everyone agrees was a Leicester miracle year, tell me one team that's won the league with a striker that has Aubameyang's traits.
Yeah, that's it.
As in just those traits alone.
Just a goal scorer.
As in just a goal scorer doesn't really offer
just a goal scoring and pace. Wow. So it's like an Aubameyang just like glorified with goals.
I don't know about Origi.
They got a similar style. I mean, Origi.
The Gabonese Danny Welbeck.
The Gabonese.
I'm saying it's Origi before the Funes Mori injury.
He was all right actually, but yeah.
At that point, Origi was mad fast.
He
was.
Can you guys think of a striker?
No.
Yeah, look at this. You can't win the league when
you definitely can't. No.
Defenses
you definitely
can. Defenses.
You definitely can because City are going to walk the league without a striker. Like Aguero basically hasn't played. Jesus, he plays some games, but he plays like on the left sometimes. Like if you put Aubameyang, you definitely can win. Like you definitely can win the league with Aubameyang. Yeah, obviously he's not going to team.
That's what I mean.
I think people make the argument, would Aubameyang do better in a better top 6 team? But like, would he be on the wavelength? These days, it's all about wavelength. And at Man City, look how good. Let's just say Kyle Walker. Yeah, Kyle Walker is one of the best right backs in the world and has been probably for the past 5 years. But you can see on the ball, look at Zinchenko and look at Walker. Who looks more comfortable on the ball? Like Zinchenko actually looks crisp on the ball. Obviously, Kyle Walker
very solid.
10 times better defending.
They could play left mids now. All these left backs and right backs, new era.
These man, I think Kyle Walker obviously looks the most out of place to me, and he's not even that bad technically. I wouldn't even say he's awful technically. He's just average.
Yeah, he's decent technically, and he's just an absolutely class athlete. Like he's one of the fastest, strongest right backs I've ever seen.
But he looks...
kind of. Yeah.
No, go on, Dylan.
No. Yeah. He kind of actually reminds me of Micah Richards. You know what I mean? Like pace and power merchant. But they're actually decent on the ball as well. They're good on the overlap. Like his cross. No, yeah, I agree with you. But like compare him with Cancelo, it's levels in terms of technical quality.
That's what I mean. Like someone like Kyle Walker, as good as he is, and technical, being decent technically. I'm pushing him by saying decent, but he looks out of place on the ball. So when they're doing the intricate passing, Kyle Walker needs to take that little bit longer to release the ball, or he might reset. He might reset, whereas Cancelo would have just popped it in the middle first time. Do you know what I mean? This is why I say Aubameyang now. If you slapped Aubameyang in there, I think he'll need too many touches to do what he needs to do.
Honestly, bringing it back, Arteta. John from Real Talks at Don surely knows Arteta is the man.
Liam's on the beer at the minute, so don't know.
Yeah, but I don't think I've ever disagreed. I said it earlier on your stream that I thought at the start Arteta wasn't the man, but now I think he's coming in. Like you got to look at what he's working with at the same time.
Yeah,
he doesn't have a leader.
A lot of dead wood.
He does. There's a lot of dead wood there, and I think I think Arsenal, we got rid of a few players in the January transfer window, but I classed that as the easy work and people that were gonna be free transfers anyway, and they probably wanted to leave. Let's see if you have the ball to sell someone like a Xhaka, to sell a Maitland now, to sell a Joe Willock, to sell an Nketiah. Those are the type of players where you actually have to make a decision because they have the years left on their contract and they still have value.
Yeah.
So let's see if you can do that. Arteta needs the players, but
you say that, like, but Xhaka was going to leave you last January, and Arteta basically begged him and brought. Like, I remember Xhaka saying,
"Don't remind me, please."
Yeah, exactly. Like, so what was Arteta thinking there?
What did Xhaka say? What did he say?
I'll let John say it basically in January with Xhaka.
Oh man, yeah. So Xhaka was going to leave last January for 18 million, and Arteta convinced him to stay.
18 million. Oh, good money for Xhaka.
Yeah. That's good money. Did you not get him for like 30, 40 mil?
Yeah, don't remind me of that as well, please.
Ooh, and Mustafi was 30. Ooh,
Mustafi was 35.
See, World Cup winner, to be fair. So
we got Mane. We got Mane for that.
We
got Fabinho for something like that as well. Maybe a bit more.
But John, let's see if you get rid of all this dead wood, you're not going to accumulate that much money. So where's the rest of it going to come from? Because unless you're getting a Sheik coming in, like Liverpool need to spend big this summer, but I know them Yanks have a bit hiding away. That's what I mean. It's hard to attract as well. You've got who wants to come in at the minute into Arsenal and say, "Oh, I want to play with this guy. I want to play with this guy." You're coming into Liverpool. I want to play with Salah. I want to play with Jurgen Klopp. They're coming into Arsenal.
Defenders want to play with Van Dijk. Like.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's no real attraction point for Arsenal at the minute. And no offense, but that fan base is they know coming in there. There's big expectations there, and oftentimes unjustified.
We're in London.
Yeah,
we're just lucky we're in London. If we weren't in London, the demise would have been even worse.
And you lot's like the crazy. Cool. I always have this is the same analogy I use with Liverpool and Arsenal right now. This for us is Liverpool because of our injuries. I think with Arsenal, this has always kind of been the problem over the last few years. So I always say that Liverpool are all breasts and no back. Like right now we're fat. Like we going forwards. We're looking all perky, but like I see the back there, like it's mad. Like it's mad flat. Ironing board things, like it's flat, bro. Like it's not a joke. This is what it's like. This is what it's like for us. But I feel like for you as well, like going forward, as I said, now with Odegaard coming in, you man are looking perky. But as I said, at the back, something. Obviously, I think Tierney's class, but you don't know who the other three are going to play. You don't know. He's chopping and changing it. It's like Arteta don't trust the defense. It's like he doesn't. I think Chambers is someone to look at now, but you don't know who the other. You don't know who's going to play. You couldn't. Maybe Gabriel at most, but you couldn't predict the Arsenal backline. You couldn't.
Yeah, you can't. And I think I'm just seeing there a comment from Liam, big up Liam, saying David Luiz is the best right centre back at Arsenal. I think that kind of sums up where Arsenal fans are. Now we're now even specifying centre back positions. We're now saying right.
I don't know about Liam. Like,
listen,
he's a bit of a bandwagon Arsenal fan, to be fair.
Nah, but big up Liam. But yeah, man. And also I thought A194 said something about Andy Cole similar to Aubameyang. Now Andy Cole's a much better player than Aubameyang. Can't lie.
Yeah.
Andy Cole gets slept on.
Like, to be fair, with Andy Cole,
and he's in the United team.
Yeah. We were too young. We were too young, me and Peter anyways, to even like, I've seen the highlights of Andy Cole on Sky, the Premier League years and that, but like I've never actually seen him in a game proper, like full 90 minutes or whatever. But man looked a class act. But I think he was saying maybe similar players. Are they similar, or does Andy Cole have a bit more about his game?
Yeah, I'd say he has a bit more about his
game. Are we basically saying Andy Cole can't pass?
Yeah,
is that what we're saying?
Or dribble.
Or there's a different. There's like that's disrespect in it. Like,
yeah, I think we'll move that one on. Allow that one. Cedric should be in right back every week. Yeah, that's
he's not got much competition. To be honest,
Bellerin's worst right back in the league. So
yeah, he's definitely up there.
Yeah, but I feel like with him, I feel so sorry for him, man, because before his injuries, much like for me, a bit like Chamberlain, but not to the same extent, but. Like, Bellerin was serious before them injuries, man. Before them two ACLs, he was serious.
I think he was good. I think he was getting overhyped, though. He wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he wasn't. He was obviously a lot better before the big injuries and stuff. But I think all he had was pace. To be honest, boys, he was rapid. He's just lost his pace, and now he has nothing.
Yeah, that's what it is now.
Why is that half of these players? I feel like it's very difficult as a young coach, though, to make any big moves because he's going to be scrutinized, like to anything. Like if he makes any move, all eyes are on him. That's why I said at the North London derby, I was very shocked when he didn't start Aubameyang, and I rated that. But still, said it numerous times. Fans are in the stadium. Arteta's gone.
Yeah,
he's a very lucky man. Very. You say
maybe I say the same with maybe Jose as well. But go on.
Yeah,
they play huge football.
He's only still there because of Jose factor, I think. But
and the final
and the payout as well. It would cost. I think it cost him like 25-30 million to pay his contract out. So they're kind of reluctant on that, I'd say.
I think we'll touch on this one before we get into our predictions for this. But what do you guys think of Arteta's treatment on Saliba?
Blimey.
I mean, there's a lot.
Who wants to start on that one?
There's a lot of Saliba. We've got the whole video,
the league vids,
which we're just going to leave to one side for today.
But can I just mention when we have all them players in at Arsenal, all these young talents, and you see numerous of them going out on loan and whatnot. How many of them are going to come back and actually play a role in a team? Because I know for Arsenal, for the last 10, 15 years, there's always a minimum of 5 youngsters that are like, oh, this man is the shit. And I'd say about one of them materialize ever out of every group of 5.
Yeah, well, at the moment, we've got Willock, Maitland-Niles, and Saliba on loan. I think we have Mavropanos as well, but he's not really known that much. I would say Saliba will probably end up being sold. I just have a bad feeling about how
sold.
I just have a bad feeling, bro. I don't like.
He's killing it in France.
He's killing it in France. I just don't like the sound bites that he's been making. Like he sounds like someone that will be happy to go if, like, to prove a point to Arteta, even though he's so young.
Easy vibes.
Yeah. So being Arsenal, we'll end up keeping Willock and Maitland-Niles, which are the wrong guys.
They're not good enough for you, though. Come on, they're not. No. I think even Maitland-Niles is a bit overrated. He's all right. Willock is at his level, I think, with Newcastle. Maybe at like someone like Palace, but on Saliba, supposedly, Fofana from Leicester, he's absolutely ripping it up with them. Probably been their best centre back this season, and they were partners together at Saint Etienne, I think, last season or whatever season it was. And supposedly all the talk was Saliba is the main man here. Saliba is the best at it too. Fofana goes to Leicester, balls out, could get in the Premier League team this season if he keeps up this form. Well, he's a shout anyways. And then Saliba just can't get a look in. And it's not like there's ducks, there's crap lads in ahead of him. I'd say he had to fell out with Arteta.
Yeah.
There has to be something going on behind the scenes, man. You're right. He doesn't have much competition in that defense. And the thing is of Saliba as well, like, there was so much hype around his name. And didn't you guys loan him back out once you finalized the deal as well? Yeah, so he had the game time to go and do what he needed to do. He's gone back and he's evidently killing it again. So, I mean, hopefully next season's his season, innit? Like, personally, because I hate to see that happen to a player. But I think, again, it must be something behind the scenes, much like Guendouzi. Has to be something behind the scenes. There's certain players that deserve to be playing many examples. I don't know.
Fekir heavily linked, Hakimi heavily linked, a right back and a number 10 badly needed. See, Hakimi doesn't even play right back anymore.
Yeah,
right wing back,
right mid, nearly right mid. Because they're playing. They're playing three at the back now, isn't it? It's Skriniar, Bastoni, and De Verge. Like, so. Look at there. Fekir, I've never really rated. I don't know about you. I always think he's been one of them players I've heard a lot of chat about, and I've seen him play, and I've been.
He basically signed for us, didn't he? Them years.
Basically,
he literally signed. The pictures were there.
He having his medical as well.
It was his knee.
Something they didn't like.
Yeah.
He's been a player I've never really rated, but I don't think that's going to solve Arsenal problems. We've said it here. Fuck, we spent 40 minutes chatting about Arsenal. There's so many issues. Can't even go on to mention. But
do we want to go on to Liverpool? There's a lot of stuff to say about us. I mean,
man. Let's talk about Liverpool. Man.
Yeah, because you spent a hell of a time on Arsenal. Can we start with Mane, please? Because
work away.
Yes.
What has happened to my boy, my main man? Sadio Mane. Like I don't know if we had a combined 11 on my channel with James Redmond and Kopish.
Seen that, yeah.
We had, and James actually exploded on my cousin because he said Aubameyang deserved to be in
I seen squad. That. Yeah, that was very funny. That was very funny.
Over Mane. Aubameyang. Yeah, for this season. He was saying for this season.
No.
I know. This is what I say. I don't.
But just on that, Monts, we don't know.
Monts, you didn't defend him, did you?
No, hell no.
Okay,
listen, hell no.
We done a combined 11 with the Real Ball Talk lads earlier, and Mane didn't make our team either. But Aubameyang, we had Jota in there. I know Jota hasn't played that many games, but when he has played, he's been class. Mane's been shocking.
Like, do you know what it is? He didn't even start off the season shocking. I think when this whole team sort of dropped, he just got
down,
and it wasn't even like, and Liverpool fans, you guys know, like, Mane having a below average performance is still very dangerous for any opposition.
Yeah,
we all know this. Like, he can miss sitters, but he's still
terrorizing the right back,
terrorizing them, like, cutting in. Like, now it's like his touch, his pass, his finishing. He heads the ball. It's like he wants to pop the ball. Like, the ball, like, I don't know if you saw when he tried to head the ball into open goal and the ball just went down.
Yeah.
Like, the Mane I'm seeing right now it's not Mane.
Timo Werner vibes. Like he's playing like Timo Werner. Just
running everywhere and doing
Mane always missed big chances. Yeah, but the way he's even missing them this season. Do you remember that West Brom game? Like, I swear he actually could have had like 5 goals. Genuinely could have. I know he scored a goal, but could have had 5 or 6. Like, remember you mentioned James Redmond? He said he was the best player in the world. Remember that? Like, he's just
at that point you could have made the argument.
You could have made you couldn't have made that, but like you could actually sound respectful. But
I don't know. Do you know what?
That was years ago.
You've seen the video, John.
When he spun Neuer and he spun the Bayern centre backs and then chipped him.
Goal.
Them times there, you can
ball be Virgil as well.
Yeah, because at this time Mane was actually doing things that, like, people were saying he was better than Salah. First of all, I was never with that in it personally.
No. I'm still kind of with that. I can't lie.
You see what I'm saying? Like, Mane's all-round game is phenomenal. So when he got them 22 goals along with Salah, a couple of years back, that's why people were making an argument.
Was mad.
You're making an argument.
Mane's a bit nicer and he'll pass the ball. Like, no one really likes a cold killer like Salah is, because Salah's just cold.
He's ruthless.
Salah don't care if Mane's scoring. He don't care if nobody's scoring. He is scoring goals, and that's it. That's end of. He's a bags man.
I wanted to ask you guys a question as Liverpool fans.
Yeah.
I actually personally think that the Liverpool 18-19 team, even though it didn't win the league, I actually feel like that was a better team than your team who won the league last year, even though you guys ran it last year. Because I feel like...
What makes you think that?
What about you that season when you won the Champions League and came 1 point behind City? I feel like that was you at your peak.
I think we got more points that year as well. I could be wrong, but I actually think we got
97. We got 97. Two less.
Yeah. I feel like you guys were just a little bit better that year. Like, that was your real peak. Like, last year, I feel like there were more games that could have gone either way, but you guys ended up getting over the line and win. But the year before, it was much more like Mane, Salah were all banging. Firmino was still doing bits.
Van Dijk the team was more spread. Like, I think in the season we won the league, the goals were more spread out amongst the team.
Yeah,
like Ox was actually our highest goal scoring midfielder. Like, you know, and literally, and you know, Henderson got a few. I think Van Dijk got about 4 actually that year. You know, the goals were quite spread out. But it's funny that, you know, 17-18 and 18-19 is probably some of the best attacking football, bar 13-14 with Suarez and Sturridge. Some of the best football I've ever seen Liverpool play. Like, it was a thing where it don't matter how many chances we'd miss, we'd carve out more. It was just a matter of when we were going to score. That was how relentless.
Them boys were a bit fresher though. You have to remember that. Like,
and Klopp, remember, he runs teams into the ground. This is the one. If there's one downfall in Klopp's game, adapting tactics if your centre backs get injured is one of them. But you know,
he kills
pressing, and it's not Klopp's fault that the pressing has now run out. I think it's run out because of COVID, and again, the fixtures are like this.
Yeah,
every 3 days, game after.
The rotation
our squad is so thin. He actually can't rotate though. There's
that's what I mean.
That's players to even rotate. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's why we kind of brought in Thiago. Klopp's kind of has tried to adapt his style more. We can keep the ball for a bit more, not gun ho the whole time. But I actually asked you on Thiago Monts first. What? Because when we signed him, like, I was like, best centre in the world. This lad is an absolute don. Watched so much complications on YouTube. And like you said, actually, you said at the start of the stream about his tackling. He's one of the worst tacklers I've actually ever seen.
Yeah,
he's like
he's just jumping. He's like a small dog there, just biting at everyone's ankles, running around biting at everyone.
I mean, I have Thiago's Team of the Year card on like the last 3 FIFAs. Like, how about this? He's one of my favorite footballers outside of Liverpool. I have like a separate category for Liverpool in it, but outside of Liverpool, he's been my favorite player for the last 3 years. My favorite player to watch in any team in the world.
Yeah.
So when we signed him, you can imagine the backflips man was doing in it. Do you know what I mean? I was here grabbing my cousin's head. I was like, listen, we got Thiago, you know. You're done.
Fabrizio Romano tweet when that came out, it was like, oh my god.
When you get the here we go, he gave the here we go. I was like, listen.
And then you remember Jota was signed on that day out of nowhere, no rumors. Like, we were linked with Thiago that same day. Jota, we see a link. Now we're later.
Celebrations are mad,
and we were just kind of like, oh, Jota.
They didn't even give us time for that. Yeah, it was just,
no, it was just
someone to push the top front 3 in it.
Just calm, man. We just throw a bit of cash there on Jota, and then we spend 2 mil on Ben Davies, and it's gas.
Yeah, I mean, do you know what else it comes to Thiago as well?
Yeah.
It built even more gas because when you come on against Chelsea at half time and when you come on against Chelsea
just ran the show
and ran the show, I was like, we're gonna win the league. Hey, we're gonna win the league. That's too good. And then you come on against Everton and did the no look pass in the last minute. I
remember that game. Them pricks in VAR just found a way. Like, they see a straight line, but they make the line a bit more critical. Remember Henderson, that no look pass. Mane pops it back. Henderson
that one.
It was justice because Pickford let it through. Pickford should have saved it. I remember me and my dad going absolutely crazy. Bang. VAR, fucking.
You know, that
pricks,
was the
but-
only game that everyone was fit, and I can't lie. You know, when we went a goal up against Everton, that was a serious Liverpool team. That's why I wouldn't write us off next year. I wouldn't write us off next year when everyone's fit again. I really wouldn't, because the way we were we were still bossing it first half of the season, even when Van Dijk got injured, and the majority of the team was still fit.
Yeah,
teams are still feeling. Yeah, teams are still like, again. You go back to the Crystal Palace game.
We spanked them around the place,
and that's why I say Joel Matip is more than okay if he's fit. I think he's actually a quality centre back.
Joel Matip is
very
miles above Gomez, in my opinion.
You think?
But he just can't stay fit though.
Yeah, I mean, I rate Gomez highly. I think Gomez bails Van Dijk out at times, and no one looks at. No one actually.
What are you not saying there?
What are you saying, John? Actually,
as an outside fan,
outsider looking in, yeah.
I loved Gomez at the start, but I wouldn't say he's overrated. But I've started to see a couple flaws in him in his position.
English hype.
Just cut out. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say British hype yet, but he's a very quick. But he's got time to develop. But I think Matip is underrated. I don't know why. I feel like Matip, he's kind of got some weird reputation in the media where he's not really taken that seriously, but he's
no context.
He's serious, but he's serious though. Isn't
he's a very, very good player, and I'm not sure what it is, but sometimes the media just creates strange narratives.
Do you know what I like about Matip? People don't really deep it when he gets the ball and he dribbles. He just
brings it out of defense. Yeah,
6'6" on the ball.
Passing range is there as well.
Do you know, like Souček, these big men can move on the ball. It's mad when you see people that tall, elegant on the ball. It's crazy.
Indeedy's another one.
Yeah,
he's gone underrated the whole time. I think in what was it, 2010, 2011, he was Golden Boy nominee or whatever. Like, and for me, he's better than Gomez when he stays fit. But when you're saying Gomez has time to grow or whatever, we're chatting about Kanate coming in and we're saying, the injuries, whatever. Look at Gomez, man. He's missed double the amount of days.
He gets about 4 months a year, innit, injured.
To be fair with Gomez, I think the one recent one, it was an English. I think it was one of them. It's a collision. You can't like Matip just gets these little nigglies where he plays 2 games, misses 3. Personally, I think we just need to sell Matip because he just can't stay fit. Like he's one of them. Like he was a free signing for us from Schalke. From Schalke, he assisted Origi in the Champions League final. But like he has been good for us. But I just think he has to go now because man just can't. Especially with the way I'd say Klopp wants to train, high intensity and all that. Yeah, I think you just got to bin him. To be honest, I don't know much about Kanate. Have you seen him play? Like,
I ain't really seen much of Kanate, to be honest. I just really don't want to sell Matip. I don't know. I'm on the other side of the spectrum there, man.
Yeah,
like I know it kind of has to happen. I know.
I love Matip.
He's like Groot. No one hates Groot. Like he's just the tree man. Everyone loves. I'm sorry, man. I got a soft spot for Matip, man.
Yeah, no, so do I. But I wouldn't even like to sell him. I'd like to just see him just there every week, on the team. But he can't do it, man. He can't keep up with the intensity. Like that's his body's issue. Like, you know what I mean?
Do you how do you guys feel about the Champions League? Honestly, like because I'm more on the side where if we can cheese it to the semi-finals and then Henderson, like if we can stall until Henderson's fit again, I think we might be all right.
I think, looking at it now, PSG, Bayern, City, you'd probably if you ask most neutrals, they'd probably put Chelsea, especially Dave Porter. Like we're probably 5th favourites right now if you're looking at it realistically, yeah? I think Madrid, I was saying with John, it's a 50-50 game. They're probably, I know Ramos is out, but as I was saying with John as well on Real Ball Talk, I don't believe that Ramos is injured. I could see him just showing up out of nowhere, Grant, I'm good to play, lads. I'm not going to believe that until he's sitting in the stands on his phone or whatever in his tracksuit.
Even if he's in the stands, he just whips off the track.
Yeah, just backs off the track.
Exactly. And he's just like, it's just like the Undertaker or whatever, or I'm back, ready to go, bang, you just hear it. So, but just on that, I think we could scrape through, but that could go either way. If I'm being honest, they're probably happy with the tie as well. We're a poor Liverpool side this year, so
it'll be a great watch though. I think it's going to be a really good watch.
Yeah, will be definitely.
Right, big up Number Reds in the chat. What's good, boys? Yeah, we're all good, man. Especially if Hendo gets back for that semi-final tie.
I need Hendo. Never missed him so much. Hendo's so good, man. I don't care what anyone says. Like, this might sound deluded. He has been world class for the last 2.5 to 3 years.
He has been right. I see John.
He's not.
I say on John, right? He's not world class. I say not on Real Ball Talk as well, right?
He's not.
He's not world class, but he has played at a world class level. Like
he has. He's
at a world class level. I'm not saying he's. Yeah, I agree, lad.
He's been the leader of world class men,
and his as well, right? People say his passing range is underrated. I'm not saying like it's near a Pogba level or this and that, but he's very like he gets late. Like it's solid, and he's a class athlete. Gets class. Like he's played at a world class level, but he's not world class. So John,
this is what I mean. Can I just say by the bar? People don't need to understand the bar right now. Yeah. So as I remember when I said about the whole Arsenal and to an extent the Tottenham thing, where the bar isn't that high. So when Kieran Tierney comes to Arsenal and he's ripping up the place because he's a quality left back, that's Febreze for you, man. It's like you might have been stinking in a room and someone sprays Febreze in the room. It's a breath of fresh air. You see Robertson, and people now want to compare Tierney to Robertson. Robertson's, when you smell something for so long, you can't smell it. You can't smell it anymore. You can't smell it. Your nose gets used to it. We are used to Robertson being the best left back on the planet. So therefore, big him up for that. And therefore, when people compare Tierney looks great amongst a bad Arsenal team.
Yes, if you put Robbo in that team, it's game over.
I still think Tierney's an amazing left back. Don't ever get that twisted. Like, do you know what I mean? Most consistent player in the team, but he's playing at a very dishevelled Arsenal team. And at Liverpool, when me and my boys watch the game, when we all watch the game, and we see Liverpool popping the ball, boys, you man know how many diags do you see a game? When let's say prior to the bad era of the last 3-4 months or so, how many diags do you see from players like Wijnaldum, not unknown passer, Chamber, not unknown passer, Henderson, who people think is just a decent passer? How many pinpoint diags to the toe do you see? 60 yarders a game. How many do you see?
Oh God.
I think, like Hendo does it because that's the Van Dijk trademark pass, isn't it? To Salah.
It's bread and butter to these, man, because our bar is up here.
Yeah.
Wait. I don't understand your point, Monts. Like, because you were trying to justify the Henderson world class thing.
No. Well, no, Henderson. I'm saying Henderson's
Number Red says a good here, man.
No, I'm saying
tempo of the team. Man.
Yeah, Henderson sets the tempo, and he's like the leader. A little bit like how Henderson. When he's not there, you see the team slow down and regress a little bit. You really notice the difference. And if everyone in the team is playing at a world-class level, just because Henderson isn't a gifted world-class player, if he's able to be, again, wavelength, like with Man City, if you're on the wavelength, then I believe you're playing at a world-class standard. Go look at his assist to Salah against Southampton.
Henderson, right, lads? Henderson is a world-class leader and a good football and a very good footballer. I'd say, and a good footballer that you know what I mean. He's elevated his level through his.
He's a mentality monster. He's a mentality monster. Like he has bossed the best teams in the world.
And he breeds that on everyone else, man. He breeds that on everyone else. When he's there, everyone works.
Literally.
Everyone works.
John, what are you saying?
I can't lie. Like the Henderson thing, I'll give him this. He's been an unbelievable leader he's grown himself into an unbelievable leader for you guys. That I can't take any away from him. And I think as a player, he's improved massively, even technically. Like you guys said, his long ball distribution has improved. I think his short ball distribution has improved as well. His ability to pass through the lines has gotten better through the years. But my point with Henderson is I call him the modern day players that he's a system player. He's been elevated by the system that's been implemented around him by Klopp.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's
he helped lift the system for me.
But he suited Rodgers' system at a time when Rodgers in the 4-4-2 diamond, he looked all right then.
Yeah, he did look good. But my thing is, that Rodgers thing was for 1 year, 13, 14, and then afterwards,
Yeah, it wasn't
there
great.
were 3 or 4 years where Liverpool fans wanted him out. We can't ignore
Remember
that.
Henderson?
The club came in, and I think it was the Barcelona game when you guys won 4-0 at Anfield, where I said, wow, like that was Henderson's best performance I saw. He led you guys that game.
And it never really dropped after that as well.
He never really got dropped off of that, because before there were times he was getting subbed off. We remember the exchange, him and Klopp at Old Trafford when he got subbed off in a 0-0 game. Klopp reminding him it's okay, you know what I'm saying? So even then, Henderson wasn't a certainty. I think maybe why I have some angst towards not Henderson per se is because he almost won a Player of the Year last year. Like he almost won Player of the Year.
Yeah, no,
over KDB.
There was no way he deserved that. Obviously, right, John. Yeah, just on that, like obviously when that was happening, I was annoying United fans saying, "Lads, look, Henderson's up for Player of the Year." Just shows how this guy. I was like, he's better than Scholes. He's world class. You know what I mean? Ripping the piss or whatever. I think the Player of the Year though for that season, I don't think he deserved it. KDB did deserve it. As well with Henderson, like there is a bit of English British bias there with them sort of accolades. I think looking at that, but
yeah, definitely. But still,
maybe we're being a bit harsh there. But yeah, just on Henderson, as I'll say, world class leader, good footballer, very very good footballer.
Definitely, I agree with this of the partnership, man. The system's elevated, and he's helping further it on. He's been phenomenal. But bringing it back to this, right? So of course, if Hendel's back, Fabinho plays alongside him. Who's your number 3 in midfield?
Wijnaldum, not Thiago.
Wijnaldum for me as well. Yeah.
Do you know why? Because that's the midfield. Arguably, you could say Liverpool's midfield has been better without Thiago. In fact, that's a fact. That's actually fact. I mean, we can't say what would have happened if he didn't get injured by Richarlison, because he started the season so well.
And if he was playing in a more solid team, you know what I mean? More.
If Thiago was at City, we'd be talking about again him as being one of the best midfielders in the world still.
Imagine him at City.
Do you know what I mean? But again, I've seen Thiago hasn't had bad performances every game. Like I still look at the Champions League. The Leipzig performance for me stood out to me as one of his only recent performances where I can go, Thiago, played that performance in Leipzig. That was really encouraging for me. I think again, it's fabulous. He's sending ripples throughout the Liverpool team. Him being back in that midfield, because when he was in centre back, you need to look at the way Liverpool were playing. Thiago was the only one sitting, and we have Wijnaldum on the pivot with Henderson, and even without Henderson, and the midfield was just getting bypassed every time, whether it's over the top or through the middle, because Thiago can't cut passing lanes. So,
and when he does, he just forces it. He just jumps in.
There you go, and that gives testament to how good Henderson is, because Henderson's played on the right, he's played centre mid as an 8, and he's also played as a 6, and that's how it shows versatility. So look how good Thiago is and where he's come from, and even Henderson was able to adapt to that 6 very very well, and so that's something Thiago couldn't do on his own. So we have to give credit. Like I just think
same time on Thiago, right? I rate Thiago highly. Like you said, I loved him at Bayern as well, but if he's putting in them performances for Man United, I'm going to be roasting them. Like I'm going to be saying, who's this big guy? Like he's supposed to be the best midfielder, whatever. So I can understand where he's getting the hate from, but he is world class, and he's not a 6. He can't play the 6 as much as I love him.
Yeah. He can only play 6 unless he literally sits with another, like a Goretzka, because I think Goretzka was a large part of what made Thiago also look really good, where he was an engine. He's technically good. He's good in the air, and he'll bully players. So
he does the dog work, and then Thiago does the nice work.
It's kind of like Kante and Jorginho when they won the league that year. It was like Jorginho, as stiff as he was, or even Drinkwater and Kante. Kante was everywhere. He was like 2 men at one point, and he's making that dog work. The man that can just do the passing looks exceptional. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I do think Fabinho has made him. He's now on an uphill performance. Like since Fabinho's come in, I do think Thiago's felt a lot more comfortable with him in the team. Do you guys? What do you guys think?
He's got that freedom. He's got that freedom.
Like I think so, because he does have the know-how. He does.
I think Thiago's one of that. He has a bit of swagger, but he'll kind of look at these champions. Oh, Madrid, let's go. You know what I mean? I think I'm kind of hoping that, but he strikes me as the type of player that's going to be like big champ. Like he lives for them big
game
Champions
player.
League nights.
Yeah, maybe I would play him. Actually,
I hope so. Anyway.
Still,
because
no,
he
man,
knows he won it.
you can't say Genie's not a big guy player. Look at Barcelona.
Yeah,
Roma as well,
man.
John, from an outsider looking in, what are you saying?
Yes.
I think Monts made a good point there about Thiago, and I think there's no doubt that Henderson, because of the type of player he is, he's more versatile in the sense that he's more of a runner, he's more athletic. So that's why he can play numerous positions in the midfield area, where Thiago is more of just a pure dictator. I think what people forget with Thiago as well as at Bayern Munich is he was actually dropped last year. He only came back into the team at the end because they had an injury at right back and they forced Kimmich to go into right back. He'd actually been dropped for Kimmich and Goretzka. They were the preferred partnership, and they're still killing it now. And I think it just kind of shows the trend that's going on now in the modern game, that the technique is important, but nowadays it's all about being an athlete.
See, at Bayern, though, they didn't really play. They didn't really play an 8. They played like a double 6 with a 10 with Thomas Muller setting up. So Thiago kind of became obsolete in that format.
Can you say, when people say people are enhanced, because John, you made a point that, the system makes Henderson look more accomplished than he is. And also people say that with Trent. People say, if Trent went to any other team, he'd struggle. If they're not playing 3 at the back, or if you play, a lot of people have said that with Trent. A lot of people have said that, but I think it's more of an argument for Henderson's sake. But don't you feel like I look at it literally upside down? I go, football's all about the modern game is more about systems now. No, it's not like everyone plays 4-4-2. Like the old days. Now every manager has literally a specific system that needs to be played a certain way.
Players will walk through the games by their managers. Yeah,
literally. So therefore, being a system player for me is more important than not being a system player and being, just okay in most, just being okay in some systems. You know what I mean? That if you look at Pogba, Pogba's not. He doesn't fit the system of Man United, but we all know how good Pogba is. They don't have Well, they don't have a system. That's what I'm saying. Literally, it's just inshallah, and hope.
Bruno get a penalty or Rashford big clap, Pogba big claps there. That's really what it is.
I think he just splatters the attackers and go, "You man, do your thing in it." But the point I'm making is that like people like Henderson that fit the system and Trent that fit Klopp's system to a T. I think those players are the most important players because managers these days, are very. It's easy to just buy a name, like a Pogba. It's easy to buy a name.
Well, he has to suit you.
It's now proven that. Look at Thiago. I still think he'll come good. I think Thiago will still come good. Yeah. But if someone doesn't fit the system, it don't matter how good you are. Thiago, when it comes to technique, there's pretty much no one better than him. There's not many better than him at technique and swag and passing and touch and awareness. No one better than him, really. Since in Bayern Munich times anyway. So it just shows that someone that good can look really bad if you're not a system player.
I think that's the way. I was kind of wrong earlier when I said we should have forced the Socrates kind of move, because they were already looking at Kabak as a long term because he suits our system, and I think that's why they ended up going for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, here, boys, it's been a mad chat. I'll let you go first, but then we go into these predictions for this.
Yeah. It's easy. I was just saying, it's easy to get lost and just
lost
right.
In the sauce.
We just want to look at a few of the other games, but just before that, what are you saying, John? I know obviously what you said, Monts. What are you saying for this game, Arsenal Liverpool prediction?
I'll have to do this one a few times, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it earlier on the show. I'm going 2-2.
I'm the same.
2-2.
I said 2-1 Liverpool. These two man said 2-2.
Both teams have nothing to lose, so I just feel like both teams are.
I just want to see some goals.
2-2 might not be the best result for both defenses going into Europa League and Champions League respectively, but these games at the Emirates are always entertaining, so I'm going to go for 2-2. But don't worry, boys. If Arsenal win, I'm not going to be calling you because we're only going up to 8th place. So
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Yeah, I hear it.
Monts, what are you saying?
I'm sticking to my guns, man. 3-1 Liverpool.
Okay.
I say 3-1 because I feel like the game's going to be 1-1 for a while. But because I think a draw is worst case scenario for both teams, because the way we are in the league, dropping points is not an option for Arsenal and Liverpool. It's not an option. And I think for Liverpool, because we're a little bit closer to the top four, a little bit closer, you know, if we lose, it's just a mad thing, banter-wise and for the league, you know. So I feel like whoever makes it 2-1 is going to win 3-1 because the other team is just going to come out. That's the way I see the game happen. The team's going to come
on the
out
break.
and they're just going to get hit on the counter. Could be either of us. So I think it could be 3-1 either way, but it's probably, obviously, I'm going to go with
very, very competitive game. Yeah, that's it, man. I'm saying 2-1 for us, but it could go either way, to be honest, man. You never know. Liverpool, Arsenal, even if it's a dead rubber, you know these men are going to come out all guns blazing, probably.
They literally brought it back against West Ham, and that was they brought the intensity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I thought West Ham were poor that second half, but anyway.
Yeah, poor.
Hopefully, David Luiz does his thing. He's due a little penalty or red card giveaway.
Isn't he?
He's due one, so.
Maybe you can wait till after the game if you want Salah.
Salah's due a little jump as well, to be fair.
But
I wouldn't mind a little link up there, to be honest. I'll take it.
Just looking at some of the other games, this is we say this is the big game. It's two bigger clubs, obviously, Arsenal and Liverpool. But Leicester and Manchester City, they played a 5:30 game, I think.
Yeah.
I'll go to you, John, first. Yeah, in the King Power, yeah. I'll go to you first. Just obviously, we'll talk about City in a minute, but let's go Leicester first. What have you made of them? Because I've been madly impressed. Brendan Rodgers doing a cracking job there.
Santiago.
What are you saying? What are you saying about them?
Yeah, first of all, I agree with nothing but Reds. Yeah, Shaka's definitely get a yellow tomorrow.
Santiago, if he plays.
Santiago, yeah. First minute, yeah. Hopefully not. But I think with Leicester, I think it's about time Rodgers gets some credit. He's been slandered for years. And I understand part of the reason why, because how it ended at Liverpool, I think people think his last game for Liverpool was the 6-1 loss to Stoke City. It actually wasn't.
That was Gerrard's last game.
That was Gerrard's last game, but he had a few more months after that. But
it was the game before the Everton game.
Yeah, it was the game before that. And I think Rodgers was let down by, when you're signing people like Balotelli and people like that, it just wasn't the right move to replace Luis Suarez, who was basically the best striker in the world at the time. So, but Rodgers has proven that he can create a system that's more like the more continental approach of keeping the ball, recycling it, but also implementing the pressing system. So I think it's time that he gets his respect. And, I remember when Emery was sacked, people were mentioning Rodgers, and you had Arsenal fans laughing, saying, hell no. And I don't know where that arrogance comes from.
Would you take him now?
Would he
go to Arsenal?
I would have taken him then, to be honest.
I'll take him as a successor to Klopp.
Are you taking back?
I'll take him back. No, I wouldn't jump at the opportunity. But if I saw reports saying Klopp linked to a shock Liverpool return 3-year contract, I've gone, come. Because he actually got a defence to work with this time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You guys didn't won the league with Sacco and Skirtle and Flanagan.
It wasn't. Them didn't even play that much.
He made Flanagan look so good.
It was Kolo Touré.
Big up Cole, man.
Simon Mignolet in goals as well. Joe Allen, Boston midfield.
Joe Allen.
The Welsh
Xavi, yeah.
Xavi. Oh my days.
Ricky Lambert.
Main man up top.
Ricky Lambert. There you go. That's what he was working with.
But his diamond that he does, and he still does it to this day, it works, man.
It's class.
The diamond.
Man, he went Scotland and he ran it.
Treble. I think that got underrated. People are like, "Oh, it's Scotland."
Yeah, but that doesn't happen.
Neil Lennon.
It doesn't happen.
Neil Lennon struggle getting the treble playing. They actually, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch lots of Celtic, but from what I did see, they played some nice football. They literally dominated it really, and went to Leicester. Remember, he left mid-season with Celtic. Didn't even bother winning another title. He got bored of that. He's just he has good players. But he's getting the very best out of them, I think.
Jack puts up a great point here. Leicester, best run club in the league, got 8 million from Maguire, new training complex, and replaced him with 2 younger and better players for less money. I gotta say, man, I don't
50
think
mil for Chilwell as well.
I think you remember throwback to when Leicester won that league, and we're all like, yeah, but they'll be back down second. They'll be in the bottom 10 from now on. Like, it's one season wonder, whatever. But they have stayed consistent, and even now, right? I remember start of the season, maybe like December times, and we were saying, like, Leicester were up there, top 4, and boys are like, nah, they'll drop off though. They'll drop off. When's it coming? When are they dropping?
People are saying they they can replace Tottenham or Arsenal as a top 6 team.
They can.
I'm out to get a big list of Leicester fan.
Yeah, but
you got the Arsenal fan on your show, bro.
But you can't be taking Arsenal out of there
because the Arsenal fan from your show, bro.
No, you man, do you know what? You can never take a team who's gone invincible out of the top 6. It just can't happen. Unless you don't get relegated, it just can't happen.
But it's history, though.
Yeah, it's history.
Always.
It's true. But
I have to.
And Arsenal were a top 16 for like 18 years. Like,
yeah, you're still a big cup, John.
Sorry,
top 4, yeah. I think they've like second or third most top 4 finishes in the Prem.
Yeah, like that's
Bar United or something.
Just touching on Leicester, though, I just have to put some respect on Tielemans' name. I think I always say to Pierre, he's one of them players for me that just gets, just like people rate him and stuff, but he's a bit not disrespected, but he's a bit goes under the radar. I think low-key he's been one of the best players this season. People only kind of rate him a bit more because he's getting a couple more goals. I don't even really care about that.
It's just
a class act all around. Exactly.
Yeah. Go on.
Someone commented earlier, like, Thiago got in the team of the year one year with no assists. You don't need stats. No, but that's what I mean. You don't need stats. Like, Tielemans shows it as well. Thiago's shown it. You don't need stats to be a top player. That's where you see a lot of these.
Xavi and Iniesta, they didn't get many goals.
A lot of these kids coming nowadays, bigging up Bruno. Look at the stats. You watch football. You judge football with your eyes. You don't read it off paper, man.
The difference between people like Bruno for me, because I watched Bruno very carefully because his stats were so unbelievable. I had to watch him very carefully. I watched him, and I still watch him quite a lot now. What I saw is that he's good. Like, no one's doubting that he's not good, but. Take Bruno out the team, and let's say Pogba's playing CDM. Who creates anything for them?
Pogba.
Now, that's exactly the answer I was expecting. Do you know go on. I knew he was going to say that.
I know you're probably going to say this, but like lots of even football fans in general, saying, "Oh, Bruno's showing what Pogba should be doing. Bruno's doing this." Let's be honest. Let's be honest, boys. I'll wait for that, John. But I don't think Bruno is anywhere near Pogba's level. Honestly,
this is what I'm saying. Now, obviously, Pogba, so they've obviously made Pogba go in that 6th role along with Matic, and they've let Bruno sort of just do his thing. But they didn't have anyone. You know what I said about the Febreze and the fresh air thing? Man United didn't create chances before Bruno, so anyone was coming in, and that was creative. It's gonna look good. They're gonna look good because literally, it's gonna look good. However, he's a stat merchant. Obviously, he's on every set piece and every penalty, but the team is run around Fernandes. Do you know what I mean? And when you look at how many passes he makes and how many passes he passes, he will get 8. Yeah, he will get 8 passes out of 10 wrong. I promise you. But you look at someone like Tielemans, and his decision making is second to none. His decision when and when not to pass, when to do things, it's just because he's a little bit deeper and Maddison's there and looks a bit more flary. People who don't have a football brain don't see what Tielemans is.
This is a weird comparison, right? But when you're talking about a team run around a player, I think there's no greater example than United and Leeds. I think Bamford gets made out to be a god in that team. I've seen him in Championship. I've seen him now. The amount of chances that man misses, like if you're getting like chance after chance, you're going to slot some.
Yeah.
John, you're going to go to town on, I think, the Bruno Pogba, so the floor is yours.
Listen, I'm glad you've all
get the popcorn.
What I like about all you guys is that you guys actually watch the game and appreciate that it's not all about stats. It's about a mixture of watching it and stats, if you can do both. But I think the thing with Bruno is, as Monts said, when you actually watch him and observe him closely, for me, he suits United because Bruno plays off the cuff. Meaning, I've never seen a Cam who gives the ball away as much as he does. And I understand the thing that's now come with it that people say you need to try risky passes. That's why you can lose the ball. I understand that, but I've never seen someone do it as much as him. Now, the thing that people say is that Bruno's done what Pogba should have been doing for years. Now, there was 18-19, Pogba literally led United in every single statistical category. No one cared.
Ibra missed the lowest series
he was their top. He was just their top scorer as well.
Nobody cared. And when people said he was their top scorer, people back then were saying, "Oh yeah, half of them are penalties." But now it's Bruno. It's not an issue. Anyway, back onto the Bruno thing. He signed for them end of January, right? Pogba was injured. Bruno then carried them, or not carries them. It's the initial uplift you get after you get a new signing for a month. We then go into lockdown. No games for 3 months. By the time they come back, Pogba's now back and helping them from the deep lying role. So Bruno's basically never really played without Pogba for a consistent enough period of time of 3, 4, 5, 6 months where you can say he's doing what Pogba should have been doing.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen Bruno carry them for a season like Pogba was doing.
Since Pogba's injury, how many goals have United scored? I can count them on one hand.
There you go.
I'm not sure, maybe 5?
How many 0-0s? Go look at the last few games because they haven't been conceding, and that's credit to them. But just go have a look. Since Pogba's injury, how many goals they scored?
Hardly any.
I think Pogba's disrespected, lads. Like, right. I'll ask you this actually. I know Peter doesn't. I play it myself. Do you play fantasy football?
Yeah.
John, I play it as well. It's like I enjoy it. I take it seriously, whatever. But I was having an argument with a few of the boys that were in the comments earlier. This was a while back, but I was saying something about it just kind of annoys me. Like, you get an assist, you take or you pass it to, let's just say, someone passes to Madison. Madison bang, like just a little 5-yard pass. Madison gets by a player, bangs in from 30 yards. You take a shot, the keeper fumbles it, your lad gets through it. You still get assists for them. Like, these are all counted as assists.
Or hitting the post.
And, you know what I mean? You hit the post, the lad gets the rebound. A lot of people, I think, these days, just kind of looking at Twitter, like, they see, another assist, 2 assists, which these could be these long shots that people parry. 2 assists, and they're like, we got some bonus points as well. I didn't see a game. It must have been class. And then they wouldn't see someone like an Ndidi or a Tielemans, for example, boss the midfield, but just got 2 points on fancy football. I think people
that's
are
what I'm saying. You watch football, you don't read it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That's actually very.
But I don't know what you guys think, right? But like, 2 of us are Irishman, and Roy Keane is a big slanderer of Pogba, and anything he says,
soon
anything them 2 guys say is the Bible over here. Like, oh my God, Roy Keane says Pogba's bad. He's a stinky attitude. Everyone hates him.
Yeah, I think that's today's punditry in today's social media.
It's a joke. Just because they play football doesn't mean they have their opinion is gospel.
Henry said Firmino was the best striker in the league. I want, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Most complete player in the league, sort of thing. But as I said, like, that whole thing with like fantasy and how it's run, I do think it is flawed because like there's certain players that will play the pass before the assist for 3 goals and get 2 points because they played above 75 minutes.
But Bruno, for example, could have the shittest game ever. Someone gets fouled for a dodgy penalty, spanks in the penalty, 1-0 win. Bruno gets all the bonus points, gets the goal.
Penalties.
Yeah, Greenwood was one of the main reasons. Like when Bruno come in January of 2020, was it 2019? Was it last year? January last year he come in, right? Yeah. And Greenwood. This is when Greenwood started like. Was on a mad one, like every shot was literally going in. Balling out. Like, I saw a video on Twitter and it goes, Bruno, best midfielder in the Premier League with like capitals and like little and capitals and trying to take the piss. And it's literally every penalty, and it's literally every one of his assists, and like apart from three assists and I think 1 or 2 good goals. The rest of them were 5-yard passes to Greenwood where he'll take it past the man and smack it top corner. Marshall hits it top corner from 30 yards.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Bro, Bruno's got 2 assists this season where he was slide tackling.
Yeah.
I've seen.
He's scored 14 penalties.
I'd say there's been about
14.
3 or 4
14.
times where Bruno's made me go. Wow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His free kick against us, that made me go, wow, I'll be honest.
Do you know, who was that goal against? He faked
against
the
Everton,
shot.
he spanked a lovely goal in against Everton. Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Do you
and I
that
just
one?
remember being like, wow. But every game nearly when I watch Pogba, he does something that makes me go, fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
I want to ask you guys a question, and it's to do with the comment from Nothing But Reds. Big up Nothing But Reds. And they said Pogba's attitude, injuries, and ego hold him back. Now, I just want to ask, why was his attitude and ego not an issue at Juve and France, who have elite players?
that's what I mean. Man, you can't just bring in one player, right? United bring in Pogba, and they're like, yeah, do it. You need to back him
But
as well.
that's Man United's problem, though. They don't have a system, so they bring. I think any player that goes United is at a detriment. They're already at a disadvantage.
How many players have gone to United and been ruined? Look at even Lukaku. Everyone, imagine. Remember the abuse he was getting. Oh, he's no first touch. He's not, because that's not his game. He's a hold-up striker. He drops a shoulder and he bangs it. Even
lads, right? If you look at it, first of all, on Pogba, he's playing with ducks in McFred, like McTominay. I actually think McTominay is shy. I know people rate him because he's passionate. He scores the odd goal.
Right.
I don't think he's all right. I think he's
class.
I just think he's. I don't rate him at all, but
yeah, I think he's all right. On his day, he can be good, but I don't feel like he's a CDM though. I think he looks shy as a CDM. I think
he's a box. No way.
Yeah,
his box range is awful.
Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like I think I do give credit to Bruno in the sense that I think it's very hard to come to this Man United of this era.
Bruno's still a good player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. But like the way Man United deal with things, like even like, don't take it from me. If I take it from me, I can't lie. I'm in that type of mood right now. Wan-Bissaka is the worst footballer I've seen in years. In a long time. When I say in years, like
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
He's the best 1v1 defender you will find.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying, Monts. He is awful on the ball. On the ball, he's terrible, lads.
I promise you. I'm a better footballer than Wan-Bissaka. I
promise you
100%, on the ball.
100%. Me too. I'm jumping in with you, Monts. Jumping in with you,
bro. Do you know what hurts me?
The next trend.
Obviously, if he's been a defender if he's been a defender for the majority of his career, I can sit back and go, do you know what? You're a defender before you're an attacker. If you're a defender, he was.
How is he a winger? I don't get that.
A winger. If you see that kid on the ball, he is abysmal. He is awful. He has nothing. He is all back and no breast. He's got nothing going forward. I'm telling you, fam. It's mad. Nothing going forward.
Did you see with Wan-Bissaka? He pockets Sterling. I swear, every time they play, he just absolutely destroys Sterling. He is so good. Like, there's no point taking him on. Yeah, he's so bad going forward, though. Like, you see when he gets the ball, he's like, oh, shit, let me just pass this back to Maguire. Let me just pass this back to Lindelof. He's not comfortable.
Touch, all of it, everything.
The thing is, because he's a right back as well, even if he makes a mistake defensively, it's not even that deep because he's not playing centre back. Like, you've kind of got freedom there. Like, he's just there.
Know, man.
But when I see
it can be improved.
Trent Wan-Bissaka debate, it's a joke.
But it's like that's why, again, the standards and the bar. Like when I see Nico Williams come in for Trent, like when Trent got his calf injury and Nico Williams had a couple okay games. Nico Williams was struggling with things like his first touch, getting the ball at his feet, and finding the ball quick enough. Now, when I think about that, I get annoyed at Trent for being too blasé about things. But the thing is, Trent gets the ball at his feet. His touch is unbelievable, and he knows how to make the pass. Like the things, the fundamentals. Trent actually has the fundamentals down. Like it's not even, and
he does it so well
because we're so used to it. We get angry at Trent for other things that we shouldn't get angry at.
I don't know what you think. Trent's a midfielder for me.
Right center mid.
I think eventually, I think he's well mobile. I've seen him. Like boys disrespect him, saying he's not that pacey, he's not that agile. I've seen him get back sometimes.
It's a conversation to be had whether you can do the Kimmich sort of thing.
Yeah.
He's not on Kimmich's level. I'm not.
Yeah,
I know what you
He's
mean. Do
nowhere
with
near,
Kimmich,
yeah.
come into midfield,
Defensively,
whatever.
anyway.
yeah, as in
Because
I mean,
Kim-
that coming in for that Philip Lahm
Yeah,
sort of
I
thing.
see what you mean. Yeah.
Because
But you can have
Kimmich is
that argument. That's the thing. You can have that
Definitely.
argument, but if someone tells you Wan-Bissaka was a winger, you're actually confused.
Yeah, like
Makes no
no,
sense.
but he was a winger. So
That's why I
who
know
was
he
you
was.
beating with them dribbling skills? Who?
I'm not gonna lie, yeah. I know he's a professional at like the highest level, but I'd just be curious to watch Wan-Bissaka play five-a-side. I
Oh,
just wanna
Power
see
League.
him
He'd get
tonight.
Power League. He'd get ruined because you can't side tackle in Power League.
He'd-
You can't
he'd,
side tackle. So he'd get found out at Power League.
See-
He's done.
See, the thing with Wan-Bissaka is he's a class athlete as well. So as well with Wan-Bissaka, I know we're going off top, but he gets caught out of position as well, lads. But he's such a good athlete. His legs are really long or something. He's called Spider-Man. They sometimes, you see some icons called Spider- But his legs are so long. He's a class athlete. He can get back, make the recovery tackle, and he looks good.
But
he is bang average.
Let me
Class
say one
defender,
thing.
terrible going forward.
Dima, one thing though, what I would say is that even though we can all agree that I think 1v1 he's probably the best defender in the world. 1v1, I don't think there's many better than him. 1v1. There's a reason why Sterling can't get past him, but Paulo Sarabia could. Ocampos probably would. Do you know why? You see foreign wingers, yeah, like the Sevillas. These teams, and we saw it last season when they knocked United out. They won't dribble. They'll look at someone like Wan-Bissaka and go, well, we can't dribble past him, so we'll just hit him with the young 1-2. You see them Spanish, man, a 1-2 in between the lines. Like Wan-Bissaka got beat by the 1-2 so many times. That's why in Champions League, I feel like he struggles in Europe because the way the wingers play in Europe, they have a lot of wingers
They're
that
not
don't
going to go
actually.
straight.
Yeah, they don't have take-ons. They don't have take-on wingers like Wilfried Zaha's and stuff. They'll literally have wingers that are really good with the ball with their feet and they have a really good distribution.
And their movement is world class. They'll come short, he'll come in and they're gone.
Yeah,
that's
so they don't have to beat you. They don't have to beat you one-on-one. You have a smart wingers. And them wingers there, that's why I said with Wan-Bissaka, he needs to work on his positioning a little bit.
Yeah, his position is not great.
It's
suspect.
And because he's an athlete, like Demo said, obviously he can cover himself a little bit like how Walker sometimes can cover himself.
Yeah.
One thing with Wan-Bissaka, he is still better and better, and I have to get that in there. But
come on.
Who would you rather have crossing the border?
Jesus,
Well, I don't know. Just want to before we finish up, we'll touch on City slightly because they're playing that.
Yeah, this started off at Leicester City debate.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's average. But we'll say a bit on City. Like, there's not many City fans, but I think with City, I'll go to John here. They're just kind of annoyingly good and consistent, aren't they? It's just kind of like, oh yeah, City won, piss off, that sort of way. Like they're just so good. They just drop 5 lads every game. It doesn't really matter who play. Like when it comes to City, you're only looking at your fancy football. Oh, is my lad starting here? Because it doesn't matter who's playing. They're still going to win.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think
Leicester for the win.
Yeah. And okay. Early shout from Pete there, but
sorry.
I think it goes back to the point that I think Monts made earlier that when Liverpool really started to struggle was the period where there were games every 3 days, which has pretty much been the whole season, and I think that's where City's insane squad depth really comes in and elevates them up to another level because it's not just Liverpool had to play every 3 days. Every team's had to play every 3 days. And as you go down the league, the squad depth becomes worse and worse. So City have had such a huge advantage in the players they're able to call on. Not many injuries as well. So, naturally, and Pep's always going to keep them motivated with a point to prove when they didn't win the league last year as well. So I think City... Yeah, they've taken advantage that the league is very poor this season. They're going to win it. They're a great team, no doubt. Well, I think next year, Liverpool will come back with a point to prove. I think Chelsea will spend money. And I think until I see United don't have Ole as manager, I'm not going to take them seriously. So I think it's going to be between them two for next season. And I think if anyone gets Haaland, even though I don't think it will be Liverpool,
or Kane. Harry Kane?
Think
he'll go?
All you have to do is get Champions League football.
Yeah, I don't.
And then the big move would have been possible.
I'll just say this, lads. If City get Kane or Haaland, but Kane is just give them every trophy they're in.
You could even say Messi. You could have at one point you could have said Messi.
Exactly. Kane could just Kane, for example. You know how they're playing that. I think the way they play that false nine is so good. They don't even play with a striker, and they're still. But like, if Kane played, Kane wouldn't even have to play his proper number 9 for them. He could drop in and play a bit deeper if he wanted, because Kane could definitely be on their wavelength. Like, if I don't see them getting Kane just because Daniel Levy is a joke. He'll ask for 200 million. I hope to God he stays at Tottenham, because if he goes City, like, it'll just proper deject me, because I'll be like, we just don't have any chance here.
Yeah.
What do you say, Monts?
City is just everyone's second favorite team. Not mine. I hate them, but I think they're everyone's second favorite team. Ask an Arsenal fan. Who's the second favorite team? City, Tottenham. Ask any of these, man. They when City win the league, because there's obviously not too many City fans about. They're like, yeah, City can, they'll just win again.
I can't lie.
That's fine. Like, but when it comes to Liverpool fans and Man U fans, we hate them. We hate them. I hate them. I do not want to see City getting the quadruple. I don't want to see them.
I just don't let them win that domestic treble again. But please, anyone but City for the Champions League.
Yeah, anything but the Champions League.
That's the one we have over them. Yeah, like,
where's the Champions League? You can't. It's as Number Red says.
No, I'll still tell them go get 5 more. But I hear it.
But just, you know what I mean? If they win a quadruple, boys, United fans can't even talk to them, because they won the treble, like a quadruple. Yeah. No one can chat to them.
That's like Invincible's treble winning team status. Like, they'll be up there with them. Like,
do you know what it is?
Do you know what it is? Imagine we beat them in the final, though. But go on.
2-3 years ago, when they talk 5-6 years ago, when they started winning, whatever, it was like, yeah, okay, it's fresh enough, whatever, they got all that money, it's not going to last, and they'd no fans. But now they're starting to get fans.
You're seeing
now I'm getting worried.
The kids will support Man City now, man.
Exactly.
And now I'm getting worried.
Even in my estate, just for example, I see 1 or 2 lads wearing, I seen, even like a few years, I seen a Sané City jersey, I seen a little kind of Aguero, you know what I mean? It's just...
And you're just like, no, it's starting. It is.
Yeah. And do you know what's so funny? People aren't ready to have the Aguero on re-argument. They're not ready to do it. They're not ready for it.
John,
people aren't ready for that argument.
I'm not ready for it. Don't bring it up. I'm not ready
for it. Like, obviously, for me, Henry's the best striker the Prem's ever seen. But people aren't ready for the argument. That
I don't mind debating. To be fair.
Yeah, but you have sense. You have sense. There's a difference.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. In fact, you guys shouldn't really class me as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I think we're going to convert you, John.
You're just a football fan.
We're going to convert you, man.
You are claiming to, like, trust me, there's certain strikers that are in Henry's bracket that people would never think. Suarez Henry argument is an argument to be had. I promise you it is.
Yeah, people always look back on nostalgia first. Like, them players were better because they're not playing now.
100%. And do you know what
I mean? That kind of does go on.
Like, Suarez, 31 goals, 12 assists.
Suarez is
in 32 Premier League games.
And you missed out
31 goals.
How many games is 5?
He missed 5 games.
Yeah, and you missed the biggest thing of all. 31 goals, 0 penalties.
0 penalties.
Yes. And
so let's think about that. How many penalties? How many penalties would we score? We probably scored like 5 or 6.
Just out of context, Gerrard that season scored 12 Premier League penalties.
So he would have scored 40 goals.
And he nearly scored a goal of a hat-trick of penalties and hit the post.
Yes.
Anfield.
Let's just say Suarez scored 8 out of 12. 39
that's
Premier
40.
League goals in 32 games.
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's ridiculous.
It's just stupid.
And if you look at...
Go on, Bants. Just with Suarez, please. Just with Suarez, he is an absolute cunt. Like, that's why he's not. If Suarez was like more likable, he would be.
Take out Sturridge, and he's still the deadliest duo in Premier League history.
But I can't lie, that Sturridge that season.
Sturridge is so underrated. I think.
You know, he didn't get them injuries, man.
We hate it because he had that for years. He had that for like 2-3 years, and
it never got raised.
That hamstring injury, just because obviously I suffer with hamstring injuries. Like, I actually tore my hamstring, and like I didn't know how bad it was until like I tried to get back into things, and you're actually scared to run. Like, I'm scared to sprint my fastest because you feel like you saw how the rapid decline of Sturridge's pace.
He was almost sad to see. He was still pacey though. He was still pacey. He went from lightning to like just fast. Yeah.
It's sad as well. you know what I mean? Sturridge has done loads for us, but he did get that Champions League. You know what I mean? He got big. Like I just like Suarez. If there's any person that deserved that Premier League, obviously Jared will say, but Suarez, that Premier League, you know, all the man's won for us was a League Cup or whatever it was called, Carabao, whatever it was called. That's all he's won. Just Suarez is one of them.
I don't know. Sturridge, obviously one of my favorite players as well. Man. I think he's likable. That's someone that everyone likes. You know, everyone likes a bit of Daniel Sturridge.
I'm delighted he got that Champions League before he left. It was like he done so much for the club.
Yeah, everyone loves Sturridge, man.
But funnily enough, actually,
he was a killer.
Yeah, that season you guys almost won the league. Funny enough, I think obviously I've kind of implied that I'm not his biggest fan, but Henderson did get a red card and was suspended for 3 games at the end of that season. And I think if he wasn't and was fit for that Chelsea game, it might have been a different story because you guys needed him in there.
Sturridge didn't start that game either. He wasn't fit.
He wasn't fully fit.
He wasn't fully fit. And he had to come on, and you already conceded by then. And do you know what's funny though? Sturridge was playing off the right. Suarez. Some days Suarez will play right wing. That was
Coutinho might play on the left. A young Coutinho with the
Sterling was there ripping it up as well.
Coutinho, they'd all just be interchanging kind of. Sterling, like if you think about that, that was actually a mad front three.
It's mad though. Everyone on that team. That's when we're going back to the system. Everyone was elevated. Flanagan, these man looking decent.
Even Victor Moses
Victor
was putting in performances. Oh my god, that guy's been everywhere. He's a football star.
How much of a scumbag Mourinho is. He
didn't even need that meant nothing to him in terms of
nothing to play for. He came to Anfield to park the bus just to see you guys not win.
They were wasting time at throw-ins in the 20th minute.
Like this. He's slapping his chest to the Chelsea fans.
Like they won the league, the prick.
Like they won the league.
They won it for us last year, though. So I'll give them that. They gave us a nice...
we won it for us. Like,
we was going to win it anyway, though, innit? So it's like...
It's not the same, man. It's not the same.
Do you know the thing is about Sturridge as well for me? Like, people just look at Sturridge and go, oh, yeah, he was fast and he can finish. Do you know he was like... There's certain players... There's certain players that, like, have a foreign style of play. Do you know what I mean by do you know what I mean by foreign style of play? Like Jack Wilshere, for me, had a foreign style of play. He was Jack Grealish as well. Very, very like almost Brazilian, like in the way that they dribble, and do you know what I mean? Sturridge for me was one of them attackers that was just so unconventionally English that no one knew what to do with him. Do you know what I mean? And he actually had a decent pass on him as well. And I love personally, people used to hate his greediness. I loved his greediness. Like I love Salah's greediness. You know what I mean? At times it does annoy me, but I'm saying like
but when you need it most, it comes through.
Yeah, there's greediness, and you never think, oh, he's gonna miss this. Sturridge was literally, even at Turkey, when he lost his legs, like you could see at Turkey, he's actually doing all right for I don't know how you say the name. Transport. Yeah, he was doing all right there before he got his ban. And even when he come on against Chelsea and scored that banger to make it 1-1, I promise you, I was shouting and screaming on the top of my lungs.
That was a banger.
How is this video surely clickbait? Premier League preview, and boom.
Yeah,
just it's 2013.
Get your pop on, get your tea.
Get real ball talk.
No, are we rounding up there? What are we saying?
I think we should, boys. Yeah. It's gone on longer than we thought, but I don't mind.
Before this, we say, right? I'm calling this now. Leicester do the double on City this year, and Leicester win. Come on.
Nah, not for
Leicester
me.
winning
City.
this one.
For me, I've got Diaz and Stones in my fantasy league, so City got
so
win.
do I.
Shit. Stay work. City 2-0.
What are you saying, John?
I'm gonna say 2-1 City. 2-1 City.
Right. I'll totally accept this. 1v3. Allow it.
Tomorrow's demolition day, boys. Tomorrow's the day. It's mad.
Big up Number Reds. Good show, but much appreciated, lads. Yeah, just to round it up. Thanks everyone for tuning in.
Smash the like, man.
Get the likes up. Sub if you're not already.
If you enjoyed this, man, I cannot stress this enough. The other two boys challenge, it's a madness on them. Big Sit's Bants sometimes. I'm just sitting there laughing, man. I'm just like, come on, this is quality. You know what I mean?
Appreciate that, man. For real.
And We done a video over on Real Ball Talk before this, lads. This is a lovely night of football for me, chatting.
Make sure
So
to
make
sub
sure
both channels, guys.
check the two of them out.
Yeah. Send all the stuff to me and stuff. I'm gonna put it all up on the Big Six
Absolutely,
Bants.
bro.
So I'll get it all out there.
John Monts, just anything. What you have any videos tomorrow in there at the weekend? Any plans for next thing for the channel?
Go on, John. I'll let you go first, man.
I was just going to say, not from our side. We've got the review with you guys, but it's probably going to be on Monday now because of Easter Sunday. Apart from that, nothing from us this weekend. Chilling out, watching the games.
Yeah,
Happy days, lad. And Monts?
This is the problem when you have a channel that's not just one team. I thought about making a Liverpool channel, but obviously we have to do roundups in it. So we'll probably do the roundup. Will probably be released on Monday. So just with all the Premier League games, and then we'll have like a European roundup on Thursday, covering the European action, and then it's the combined 11, another combined 11 for Tottenham and United. Hopefully
they get
have
heated,
some more
boys.
special guests this time. You know, we've got some. As I said, getting Kopish and James Redmond was a dream come true, innit? Yeah, a dream come true for that to happen. So hopefully I can get some serious Tottenham and United people, and they can just go at it. And then I think that's just what the people love to see.
Just sit back and enjoy.
Sit back and enjoy it, man. And then hopefully those are the next 3 plans that we have.
It's like Real Ball Talk on the Let's Talk the 2000s football debate. Like the manager, not gonna lie, there was a few I wasn't too happy with, but thought,
you know,
but them tier lists are quality.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people always angry in every single show. I think the worst one we had was probably the center mid.
Best, though.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That's how you know you're speaking facts.
I need to see this, man. I need to go 100% send me the links after, man. I need to go back and watch these because this is my life. I love podcasts is what I love. So to be able to run a podcast myself now is
absolutely. Much appreciate everyone who watched.
Everyone,
Cheers for the boys for hopping on. That was some crack.
And make sure nobody clips that Big Six Bants Monts. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the worst footballer ever. If
you lot go viral,
we will be clipping that. So
if you lot go viral, just keep everything percentage. Or keep it.
Just trigger a lot of United fans. No, we use that.
That might be on the Twitter tonight, boys. So make sure to follow that.
100%.
Absolutely.
Cheers, man.
Peace out and love. Enjoy Easter, guys.
Take care.